Chapter 9. That late Sunday afternoon, the last weekend of March, Declan paced by his front window, jacket in hand. His phone buzzed with a short text, "I'm outside." Stepping onto the porch, he spotted Azalea's little silver Honda Civic idling by the curb. The sunlight was already dipping low, giving the quiet street a soft amber glow. Declan slid into the passenger seat, greeted by the familiar hint of vanilla from her air freshener. "Hey," Azalea said with a smile, tucking a strand of pink hair behind her ear. "Ready for a Sunday adventure?" Declan smirked. "Define adventure, it's freezing out there." She laughed as she pulled away from the curb. "Come on, we'll walk it off. Besides, it's Halifax, cold air builds character." They crossed the bridge, the harbor glinting under the pale March light. By the time they reached campus, the grounds were nearly empty. The air was crisp, carrying a faint smell of salt water. Snow lingered only in shadowed corners, the rest melted into damp patches of grass. Azalea parked near the Student Union building and they set off along the pathways, their footsteps crunching softly on the gravel. "Campus feels so different on Sundays," Azalea said, her voice quieter than usual. "Like it's taking a deep breath before the week starts again." Declan nodded. "Yeah. It's nice when it's this empty, like the place is ours." They wandered past the Killam Library, its stone walls catching the late sun, then down toward the quad where bare trees stretched overhead. The air felt sharper here, and Declan shoved his hands deeper into his jacket pockets. "Do you ever think about after?" Azalea asked suddenly. "Like when you're done here?" Declan hesitated. "Graduation," she nodded. "Honestly," he said, exhaling, "I try not to. It's weird thinking about leaving all this behind, the city, the people." Her gaze lingered on him. "You mean us?" Declan's chest tightened, but he forced a grin. "I mean the group. Liam, Priya, Emily, you, the whole deal." Azalea kicked at a pebble on the path, her smile small but knowing. "I get it. But sometimes I wonder if things will stay the same once everyone moves on." He glanced at her. The way her hair caught the fading light made his next words softer than he intended. "Maybe some things don't have to change." She didn't answer right away, but the quiet between them wasn't heavy. It was comfortable, like a pause in music where the silence mattered just as much as the sound. By the time they reached the edge of campus, the streets opened toward downtown. The faint hum of traffic drifted up from Spring Garden Road, mixing with the sharp cry of a seagull overhead. "Want to keep walking?" Azalea asked. Declan shrugged. "Sure. Where to?" "Waterfront," she said, eyes brightening. "The boardwalk's the best at sunset." They made their way downhill, boots scuffing the sidewalk. The city was alive but not crowded, weekend energy mellowing into the calm of a late Sunday. When they reached the Halifax boardwalk, the sun was sinking low, casting golden streaks over the harbor. The water shimmered with reflections of ship lights, and the air carried that salty tang unique to the city. Declan leaned on the railing, watching the waves lap against the wooden posts. "Okay, I'll admit it, this is worth freezing for." Azalea grinned, tugging her scarf tighter. "See, I told you, this is my favorite spot when I need to think." He tilted his head. "And what do you think about?" She hugged her arms loosely around herself. "Future stuff, scary stuff. Like, am I good enough to actually make it as an artist, or am I just fooling myself?" Declan studied her, the vulnerability in her voice pulling him closer than the cold air ever could. "You're not fooling anyone. You're good. You light up when you talk about art, Azalea. That's not fake." Her cheeks flushed, though whether from the chill or his words he couldn't tell. "Thanks," she murmured. "What about you? What's your scary stuff?" He looked back at the water. "Letting people down, not knowing what's next. Sometimes I feel like I'm running out of time to figure it all out." The breeze picked up, carrying the faint sound of laughter from a group passing by. But here, leaning against the railing, it felt like they were in their own world. Azalea nudged his shoulder gently. "Maybe it's okay not to have all the answers yet." Declan glanced at her, and for a moment their eyes held longer than either expected. Something unspoken hung between them, fragile and real. Their hands brushed lightly on the railing, neither pulling away. He smiled faintly. "Yeah, maybe it is." They stayed there until the last streaks of sun slipped beneath the horizon. Two figures silhouetted against the harbor, their steps toward each other growing quieter, closer, with every shared word.